Hello everyone and welcome back to the Neurotic Vows channel. Today I want to take a bit more of a light-hearted rant because of all the crazy stuff that's been going on with the pandemic and elections and the fires burning that are making it very hard to breathe or go outside. And air quality is still very unhealthy, but earlier this week it was hazardous. In fact, it was off the scale. So I've decided I'm going to take a little more light-hearted rant and talk about movie companies for a little bit, or distributors of physical media. I do collect a lot. I have easily over 1,500 movies, and they range from comedies and horror movies, TV shows, and all that stuff. But the one thing that always catches me off guard is when a movie company, if it's a distributor or production company or any of them, when they remaster classic movies and decide to remaster them in full 4K, and then decide to only release them on regular Blu-ray, and this is a good example of one. I mean, they remastered this in 4K completely, and then they released all three of them in a regular Blu-ray pack. Never announced plans to release a 4K box set or anything like that, because that'd make me happy. Well, that's not the only example. There are others. Can't really think of them right now, but it is one of those things that every time I see a movie get remastered in 4K and then only released in regular Blu-ray, I'm like, just release it. You've already done the work to remaster it. It doesn't take that much more effort or money to put them onto discs. I mean, yes, physical media does not sell nearly as well as it used to, but there is still a market for it. People like myself. I don't mind streaming movies, but if I really enjoy something, I want to have a physical copy of it. And the reason I like having a physical copy, actually, is sometimes things get pulled from streaming services. It's happens all the time on Netflix, on all the different streaming platforms, actually. I've yet to notice it on Disney Plus, but that doesn't mean it won't happen. And so having a physical copy of something kind of ensures that I can watch it whenever I want, even if the streaming services have taken it down, or for some weird reason I lose internet connection for a while and need to entertain myself without internet for a bit. Now, moving away from 4K edits or 4K remasters, and let's just go to physical media in general. Now, there are still some places that cater to the collector like myself. Certain record labels still release huge special editions of albums on multi-disc albums, like Napalm Records, Nuclear Blast are very famous for putting out what they call yearbook versions of albums, where it's a full book and it has like 3 to 5, sometimes even up to 10 discs of like the entire album, plus symphonic versions sometimes just instrumental versions, demos, other tracks, bonus albums of like unreleased material, DVDs of concerts or Blu-rays of concerts and stuff like that. I'm a huge supporter of when record labels actually put time and effort into making a really cool special edition box set. I have quite a few of those, actually. One of my favorite bands, Die Toten Hosen, has quite a few yearbook editions of their albums, or their live albums anyway. And Van Canto would be another creator. There's a lot of cool bands putting out, actually making it available through the record label, all these really cool special editions. It's kind of interesting if you pay attention to how physical media sells throughout history, because throughout the history of physical home entertainment, media is like that. Because if you look at the vinyl record, it started to lose popularity once the cassette, and definitely once the compact disc became more available. But then after like a 10 to 20-year absence, all of a sudden they became a collector's item and people started collecting them again. And more recently, cassettes have started doing the exact same thing. So for me personally, I'm hoping that CDs will eventually become more of that, especially for a lot of these bigger bands that still don't really do that much special stuff for their CDs. Metallica being one of the few bands that actually has been recently going through and doing remasters of their classics albums with like a lot of extra discs. Or the recent Linkin Park huge box set, huge box set, which is insanely expensive. But I mean, if I could afford it, I definitely would get it just because, I mean, they were a huge part of my high school lit year. So I am such a huge collector of special edition versions of albums that I'll actually hunt down the best version of an album and import it if I need to. Like Japan gets a lot of bonus tracks that we don't get in the US, or sometimes Europe gets all the bonus tracks. And so I'll actually go on to Discogs, which is a music collector's website, where they'll have every version of an album listed, and you can actually click on each one, see compare to the the list of all the tracks on the album, and see which one has the best version of the album. And I've spent hours digging through different albums of bands that I really like and trying to get the ultimate versions. And I have not been disappointed with some of the results of my hours of sleuthing just because I am such a music fanatic and I need to have like the best version of an album. But I know I'm a very rare case. I'm a collector of music and movies, and not everybody's going to be like me. But it is nice when companies do actually cater to their collectors, to the loyal fan base that'll actually buy the physical media. I still stream music, I still stream movies, but if I really, really enjoy it, I want to have the best physical version that I can buy. Anyway, this has been a much shorter video than usual, but if you enjoy my content, I would appreciate if you were to like this video, or dislike it if you didn't like it. If you want to see more from me in the future, please subscribe. Leave a comment down below. I'm always open for suggestions of future videos, and have a good one. See you.